Socrates said that the unexamined life is not worth living. I think the only person who could say that is someone who's so deeply living experientially through their mind that they're completely cut off from their body, because it's a ridiculous statement. When you're really in your body, you feel just this natural joy of being alive. If you thought that that wasn't worth it, even unexamined, it means you're depressed. It means you're deeply, deeply lost from your nature as a human being. This is it. The meaning of life isn't some crazy idea, some sophisticated solution that the mind can come up with. That's an addiction of the mind, to try to answer every question. The answer is just obvious and in a totally sensual, experiential way. The purpose of life, the meaning of life, is to be alive. It's to experience being alive, period. The joy of life flowing through you is the purpose. It is the point. Life is itself. There's nothing bigger, better, more important than that. It is just it. The mind's job is to make meaning of things. The mind's job is to figure things out and break things down. So it's doing a great job. But it's overdoing it if you don't find yourself happy just by being alive. If you don't find the joy, natural joy in your body, just of feeling blood flow and eating food and having sex and just doing things that are natural for being alive, then there's something wrong. Like that's a problem. And the mind may not know how to solve that problem. The mind may be accomplice to that problem. And that's what I've discovered, is that my mind is so domineering that at times it's been making me miserable. And the little simple things of life would wake you up, and have woken me up to the joy of being alive. That's the real fundamentals, my friends. It's not about thinking and examining. There isn't a silver bullet that solves everything. There's not. That's a spoiler alert. There's no silver bullet. That's the mind's addiction to solving puzzles. It wants there to be a perfect answer. And in math, there's sometimes a perfect answer, and in simple math, there's always a perfect answer. In more abstract math, I guess it gets difficult. In physics, it gets difficult. But in any case, there's not just an answer. There is a feeling, an experience, a complex being that is the purpose, the meaning of all of this. So much light. Being blinded by the light, the unbearable lightness of being. Here we are. So don't let your mind boss you around, make you miserable. And it can, because it can create that formula to say, oh, if I'm not achieving my purpose in life, then I'm miserable. And that's not true. If you're alive, you are achieving your purpose in life. You're still alive, and you should be joyous about that. You shouldn't be comparing being alive to some other life that you've imagined in your head, which is just a fantasy. That's not fair. It's not useful. It's just self-sabotage, really. You are alive right here, right now, if you're watching this video. And that's great. That's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity to experience. So you can make plans and you can, attempt to do things in this world, and that's also beautiful, and I intend to do things in this world more than I've done so far. But there's no parallel path that exists that you know of to compare yourself to feel like you're somehow underperforming or underachieving or under-experiencing, you know? Just be grateful that you're alive. And maybe stop watching so many videos. I've noticed that that's a depressing thing for me when I get sort of caught up in media. I get depressed because it's frankly it's not really fully alive. It is sort of a passive experiential state. And it cuts me off from my body, is what's really happening. And the body is the source of joy. So if I'm not embodied, then I don't feel joy. And if I'm in my mind because I'm doing too much research or watching too many videos or what have you, I get miserable. That's a natural human thing because I'm a human being and so are you. So if we learn this simple thing, just ground yourself in your body, feel the natural joy in your body, well then it's all play. It's everything's play. If I can feel that joy in my body right before I embark on some sort of job, some work, then you bring joy into your work. And what kind of a better state of mind is that to do work in? I mean, how much more are you going to accomplish when you're coming at work with that kind of passion and power, that sort of life energy fully engaged? It'll be much more productive than if you're dragging yourself into your work and dreading it. So, yep. I recommend not examining your life, not that much at least, and just finding your joy first. I've examined my life for most of my life, and I'm taking a departure from that course. I don't think it served me nearly as well as I thought it did. I think the mind, when it's traumatized, wants to take control. It thinks it has to take control. It thinks that's the only way to survive. And it's funny because the opposite is actually true. If you let the body have more control, you'll soften and you'll find that things are not as scary as you thought. The world is a safer place than you thought. And you're a happier being. You're happy enough. You have friends, allies. This whole thing is actually just fine. Everyone who's been attacking you or seems mean, it's coming out of their own trauma, pretty much. It's their own damage, their own mind taking this executive action of fear driven self-protection, and they've lost their way as a natural, joyous being, an expression of life, and that's why they're the way they are. Just need to get back into your body in a safe place and feel that joy, and that joy, it's more powerful than you can imagine. It heals relationships. It transcends conflict. It creates new opportunities. It is the life force. It is love. It is what we are here for.